Hello, everybody. I am so sorry. Oh my goodness, yo, and I do apologize for being late. I said 12 o'clock, and trust me, I started piddling with this thing at hmm, what 11:55, and I'm just now getting in. Kind of upsetty about that, but it is what it is. The fact of the matter is, we're here now. So, hello, everybody. It is your baby boomer Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia, back with another Create and Relate. Hey, Michelle. Girl, did I catch it trying to get in here? Oh, I'm like, it should be simple. I've done this before, but this is only my second time. Okay, okay. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I love you. Oh my goodness. Okay. And of course, the TV lags. I like to see it on TV because I can read the chats better. But I had been fighting with this. I'm like, I'm going live today. I said I'm doing Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12 o'clock. I'm going to make this work. So I guess determination does matter. Hey, Joan, how are you? I'm here. I am here with my smile. Y'all, well, it's just us here. I can tell y'all it's been a psychological battle for the past couple of weeks. And then going through all these different medical changes with doctors and new diagnosis. And one thing is the positive in all of that. And the old doctors, an old diagnosis was taken off the table. So they took MS off the table. Yay. Um, but the doctor said it's focal seizures that I'm having, and he temporarily took away my driving privileges. So I can pilot my scooter, but to get behind the wheel of an automobile is out of the question for right now. And I'm the daughter of a driver's education teacher, and we love our motor vehicles, and we love to drive our motor vehicles. And when I tell you I have driven everything from a tractor to a lawnmower to an 18 wheeler, I have, and I love to drive, but it is what it is. And we're not going to harp on that. And we're going to take it day by day. And we're just going to continue to get better. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I am a firm believer that everything that happens for a reason. So maybe I don't need to be out there right now. So that's the struggle I've been having. It's like, you have it taken away, and we hate for anything to be taken away from us like that. But at the same time, the God in me understands that He's not going to put us in situations that, yeah, He's not going to put us in situations that are going to harm us. So you said, hi, Sunita, first of all. Hey, loves. Wow. A lot of people are amazed that he didn't take my scooter away. But he said that, he says, I don't think you drive on the interstate with your scooter, do you? I'm like, no, 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 no. No, he says, do you drive up and down Mercury Boulevard? I said, on the sidewalk. So he said, as long as I wasn't like in major roads and I was only in places where, I wouldn't be in any danger, he was okay with that. I like this man because this is the only doctor I've ever had who specifically asked me to call my daughter so he could talk to her. And of course, I handed the phone over to him, so I couldn't say anything. I couldn't lead her, guide her, direct her, but I wouldn't have done that because I raised my kids to be honest. So, and she told him everything that she had seen. But, okay, guys, these are my plans. The same day I had the doctor's appointment, Friday, I came in from the doctor and I went to sleep. While I was sleeping, I had a dream. And that dream told me to make baskets. And I have been making baskets. This is the medium one. This is one I started this morning. I had actually started it before, but I frogged it and restarted it this morning. I have the patriotic one. I have a green one. And I have a brown and gold one. It's like brown, gold, and beige, which was the first one that I made. And my plan is to sell my baskets. I do not have an online store, so I will be promoting my baskets here. I also, this is a smaller one, and I'm going to redo the strap, but I also do the market bags. This is the one I like the most. I love this one. hmm So if you all, or if you know anyone who would like, I call them project baskets because they're so simple to throw a project in. And the only thing I wouldn't suggest putting in there is the yarn needles or small crochet hooks. But with it being so thick, it it holds everything, and they're nice and sturdy. What I plan to do with the ones that I'm going to make myself, which will probably be all shades of purple, when I rebuild my yarn stash, I am going to use these instead of course, I don't have one close, but the cloth bins, the cloth cubbies that we have, I'm going to use these instead. And I will probably, I don't know, we'll call that as it comes. But yeah, so what is everybody working on? How's that shawl coming along, Sunita? And well, I know you're driving, so I won't do that. So I've been thinking of trying the intermittent I chop that word up. But the fasting thing, my doctor said she's cool with it as long as I can handle it. But my thoughts are I get up in the morning and I generally don't eat the first meal. I might grab a couple of crackers or throw a mouthful of peanuts in my mouth just so I can take my medicine, but I don't really eat. Okay, we're gonna have to move that up, Sunita, to at least 55. We're gonna we're gonna we're gonna speak 55. I come back Thursday at 12. So between now and then, we're gonna try to. I'll make it even easier for you. How about 53? You think you can give me a row 53? But yeah, I don't generally eat until I get the kids from the bus stop, which is right around 2:30. And I figure, you know, it's just a matter of, I think one day is 14 hours fasting, the next time it's 16 hours. So it's just stretched out from the first time you eat. Um, we don't eat a lot of junk, um, more than any of us would like to. But right now, my daughter is the only one cooking. And with her job, I know you can. I have every confidence in you. Diamond Dot. Okay. Diamond Dot. I thought I wanted to try that at one point in my life, and it still may be a possibility. It might be a possibility. I have a Lego football that was given to me for Christmas. And this individual knows that I love Legos, and they know that I'm a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan. I was trying to see if I see it close. When I opened that box said 738 pieces. Y'all, I have to use tweezers to put these Legos together. Whew. So the diamond dot art would be nice for her to hang on the wall. I think, what is it a picture of? But yeah, I started trying to put those Legos together. And like I said, I had to grab the tweezers and I didn't throw it. I promise you, I did not throw it. I just politely put it in a larger plastic container, put the lid on it very securely, and set it aside. Anytime you need glasses to put Legos together, oh my goodness. I don't even know what's on the menu for today. I'm thinking, I know what I want for lunch or brunch for me, and that's spinach and tuna. So, and I made smoothies yesterday. I made strawberry, banana, mango, and spinach smoothies yesterday. Oh, okay. I will definitely look for that. Oh my goodness. I have tried for years to trace my native roots. And I don't know, I think after the experience I had of finding my paternal roots, I, oh no, the spinach was not cooked, it was definitely fresh. Um, but after the experience I had with them, it made me step back on a lot of things. I was raised an only child by my mother, so it was just me and my mom. And I can't say, even though I had a lot of bad things to happen to me, in my younger life, I cannot say that I had a bad life. I had a very good life. My mother made sure that she exposed me to a lot of things. I had no idea that my mother struggled financially as much as she did because every weekend we were going somewhere. You know, she had a red Toyota Corolla Mark IV, I think 4 or 5. It was a station wagon. And I used to sit in the back of that station wagon with a cooler. We would pack that cooler with luncheon meat and sodas, make sure we had plenty of ice. We always had cups and plasticware, and I had a roll of paper towels. We had our little first aid kit set up. We had chips, and it was always my mom and her significant other and me in the back. And I ran that back like it was a store. So I have always been a little entrepreneur. And they had to purchase their sandwich and their chips and drink. And sometimes we had pickles. And yeah, we had fun. We had fun wherever we were going. We traveled having fun. And we went places like New York to see the Empire State Building. And, it was never, well, we did go outside the United States when I was very young, and I don't remember the trip. My first plane ride, I think mom said I was 2, and we flew from Norfolk International to Washington, D.C. So, and I don't remember it, but I know my mom wouldn't, mislead me about that. Um, I always went to the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus. Uh, I was pretty much a staple on the Jim and Tammy show. So much. I met celebrities out the yin yang because she always had me at plays at the Tidewater Dinner Theater and Chrysler Hall. Um, I've had experiences, the fishing, the riding across a river on a wooden ferry that the man had to pull by string. Now that I think back at stuff like that, I'm like, could I do that now? Oh no. Oh no. I don't think I would have the gumption. Grandparents, I didn't, oh, the first flight I remember I took with my grandmother. We went to Texas. My grandmother, uh, the union of my grandmother and grandfather produced 2 girls. My grandfather was a bit of a ladies' man, so there were 2 other girls prior to the 2 he blessed my grandmother with. Um, One of those 2 girls, they're still my aunt because they were my grandfather's children. Ruby Lee stayed in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, which was like 15 minutes away from us as we lived in Wilson. But then Elaine left and went to California. Elaine only dated professional athletes. So her son, my first cousin, became a professional athlete. And that's Andre Rison. Um, I've never been one not to claim family. I have chosen not to hang around with some of them. He's one of those. But I feel like in the end, family's all you got. And sometimes it's the family that's not DNA, but in the end, family's all you got. And I appreciate you, my sisters that I see here. I should say my family, my YouTube family for being my family. But like I said, mom always took me places. She exposed me to things. We would drive to Connecticut, drive to um, Pennsylvania, drive to Florida, wherever her desire to expose me took us, that's where we would go. And I remember Jesus Christ Superstar was at the Tidewater Dinner Theater, and Ted Neely was actually there. And I got to go backstage, and um, they were there for 3 nights, I believe. It was either 2 or 3 nights, but it was 3 nights. It was 3 nights. But he gave us passes to come back the other 2 nights. So I just got to like kick it and hang out with him. And he was so cool. Oh my goodness, he is so cool. And Bobby Hill, Yvonne DiCarlo, she taught me a very valuable lesson when I was 12 years old. I'm sure you all might remember the Munsters, Lily Munster, Yvonne DiCarlo. When I went to see, I forgot the name of the play she was in. I just remember they were running around the stage, goosing each other. And the adults found that to be really funny. I, I didn't catch the humor in that at the age of 12. But I was sitting on the steps leading to backstage. And she came and sat down beside me. And she said, "Hello, pretty." And I looked at her and I said, "Hello, Miss Munster." And we got a good laugh out of that. And she told me to uncross my arms. I used to walk around like this all the time. I was always trying to push my girls down if they were large at a very young age. And she told me to uncross my arms. And if you remember her, you'll remember that she was very heavy busted as well. And she told me, she said, "Look, God gives each of us marks of beauty. Those are your marks of beauty. But if a man can't look you in your eyes when he talks to you, you don't need him. If all he sees is your beauty marks, you don't need him." But because of my cousin, bless her cute heart, and the fact that Jackie was smitten by her, I got to have dinner with the Jackson Fives when I was 7 years old. Um, my daughter, uh, Monique, spoke at my daughter's high school. I see Norcom in Portsmouth, and she was a victim of being bullied also. But Monique pulled my daughter aside and had a talk with her, and gave her hugs and loved up on her. And so yeah, we've had some experiences. The Minnie the Moocher Man, I can't remember his name right off, but we went to Chrysler Hall to see him, and I took my oldest daughter, and we were standing in the lobby waiting to see if we saw him when he came out, Cab Calloway. And my daughter started singing. My kids can sing. No, my kids can sing. Y'all hear me singing every now and then. Those three babies of mine, like angel voices. And she was standing in the lobby singing, and Mr. Calloway heard her. And his room was right off from the lobby. We had no idea we were standing right outside his door. And he opened the door and had Nikki to come in. And he talked to her and told her how talented she was and that she should pursue a career in music. He said it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, but anything um, anything that you obtain that's worth it is going to require hard work. And she told him of her desires to be a mathematician. And bless her heart, she followed her dream. She has a double doctorate, one in education and one in math. And my son, bless his heart, my son on a fluke went with buddies of his. Some of them were other kids that I raised, but a whole gang of them went to the Army Recruit Center to take that, I guess it's called the ASVAB or whatever it's called. And he had no intentions of going in the military at that time. He didn't. And this young man only missed 2 questions. It was a group of 7 of them. And they were hawking Melvin so bad. No, you need to come in. You can have any MO you want with scores like that. And when he finally decided to go in, he told them that he didn't want to go in high ranking. He wanted to work his way up. He got that from his mom. Yeah, I want to work my way to the top because I want to know everything it entails. I want to know everything the top entails. I want to know if I have to jump into another position, I can do that. I'll be well versed in that position. Oh. Sunita, are you still here? If you are, I'm glad. I love making people laugh. I love making people laugh. And the easiest way to make people laugh is to just tell them about your life. It's all in the way you present your life. I think everybody has hilarious life experiences, and the bad and the good. You can either choose to just soak in the bad and make each day worse, or you can see the comedy in everything. There's always something comical in things, and even some things people see as being so bad. And I would never make light of someone else's situation. I wouldn't do that, but I can make light of mine because I know what I went through, and I know um, that not only do I not want others to suffer what I've suffered, but I want them to know that ultimately I'm okay. You know, I'm okay. Like, okay, this is kind of like a 3-parter. First of all, there's this man named Butch. Real name. I didn't care for Butch. Something about him that I did not like. I was never comfortable around him. So that was cool. That was okay. But Butch used to come by and take my mom out a lot. And my mom didn't go out or to places, especially during the day, that I couldn't go. So to tell you how much I didn't like Butch and how much my dog fed off my vibes, I was taking Rex. I had a thoroughbred German Shepherd, and I was taking him walking one day, and we were walking away, from the house, and Butch pulled up in the driveway, and Rex almost drug me back home, trying to get the Butch. I got control of him, but that was the scariest part of that whole situation. So not only did I not like Butch, my dog didn't like Butch. But at any rate, a separate time, Butch came over to take my mom golfing. Yes, I know the concept of golfing too. Y'all notice I said the concept of. I never said I was a golfer. So Butch didn't tell us how we should dress, basically footwear out there on the greens. And we get to the first hole and we set up, mind you, the first hole. We get to the first hole, we set up. I'm the caddy because I don't like Butch that much. I don't even want to play the same sport he playing. And my mom sticks the tee in the tee in the ground, and she places the ball atop the tee, and she takes a couple of practice swings. And my mom rears back, and she she swung as hard as she could to hit that ball. And me, I'm looking for the ball, and I turn around because I don't see the ball, and my mom is sitting on the ground. He didn't tell us to wear spikes. He did not tell us that. My mom's feet slipped right out from under. My mom and I are like in a lot of ways. We sit here and things happen to us, and it's funny. It's so funny. It's like, somebody else would cry or be embarrassed, but instead of allowing ourselves to get there, we laugh so hard. And my mom and I would talk about that and laugh so hard. There was a man I worked with once and did not like that guy. There was just something about him. Come to find out later, bless your heart for not liking him. Bless your heart for not liking him. I am so glad that you not become a main course of his. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. Mm. I don't know if you all heard of or have heard of. I think he's no longer with us now. George Grant. Um, Nothing as vicious as the above mentioned, but he was quick to unalive people. But on the other hand, the sweetest person you ever wanted to know. My mother and I are so much alike, but she holds back nothing, and neither do I. So I'm learning, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. My mother was very curt as well. Not ooh. But you know what I found even more fascinating? My grandmother, my grandmother could take the biggest, baddest person and make them feel this small in just a few words, never raising her voice, never cussing. But she could make you feel. um, my grandfather was diabetic. And even though from the outside looking in, you would think he was healthy because he did a lot of walking. He stayed relatively fit. He had several jobs. But I watched my grandfather as he was going blind. He had developed glaucoma. Never had any amputations. But my grandmother cooked like she was cooking for a diabetic. And as a result, with me being so young in my initial stages of being raised and living with them, um, I learned to eat no salt, no sugar, low carbs and no salt. So my grandfather, being the man that he was, the southern man that he was, felt like he had to please all the ladies. And whenever you saw my grandfather, you saw me. Whenever you saw me, you saw my grandfather. We were like glue. And one day we had a problem in the bathroom. The sink was clogged. And my grandmother and I were trying to unclog it. We went to the store, we bought some lye, we bought Drano, we bought liquid plumber, and my grandmother made a concoction and poured all of that stuff down the drain. And we watched it sizzle and bubble and sizzle, and finally pop, and everything just went down the drain. And when we finished, I asked my grandmama for a baby Ruth. Now, for those of you who don't know, my grandmother was Caucasian. So my grandmother turned 50 shades of red. And she asked me, how did I know about a baby Ruth? Because I had never had candy. The only chocolate I ever had was the chocolate icing on a cake or a chocolate cake. Because my grandmother cooked. My grandmother was, she had a master's in culinary arts. My grandmother was definitely a cook. So when I asked her for this baby Ruth, she was like, what do you know about a baby Ruth? I said, well, when granddaddy takes me to Miss Ann's house, before they go in the bedroom, Miss Ann will give me a baby Ruth. Y'all, I was 5. Okay, I had no idea I was ratting on them. I didn't know. And I didn't get stitches because I wasn't old enough to really be what you call a snitch. So it didn't apply to me. I was just telling the truth. I said, and when we go to Miss Pearl's house, Miss Pearl gives me Butterfingers. She went through all 50 shades of red again. And like I said, my grandmama didn't raise her voice. She didn't cuss. When she made dinner that evening, she made 2 plates, her plate and his plate. And his plate always had extra food on it because I would sit on his lap and eat. He'd eat a mouthful. He'd feed me a mouthful. He'd eat a mouthful. Yes, they spoiled me. I was very spoiled. So during dinner, my grandmother said, Landy, excuse me. He said, yes, Catherine. She said, I don't care what you do out there in those streets. I know all about it. Have known for years. But don't you ever take the baby with you again. I didn't know exactly what was going on, and being that she hadn't said the names I said and she didn't say anything about the candy, I didn't know that's what she was talking about. I just know that whatever he did out there in the streets, I couldn't be with him anymore. So I felt like I was being punished too. I did. I was wondering what I did wrong. And my grandfather started telling my mama about it. And my mama got tickled. And my mama started talking to me. She was like, you told on your granddaddy. I was like, no, I didn't. And she said, yes, you did, baby. You don't realize it. But you told on your granddaddy. Good for you. As I got older, I understood. But like I said, my grandmother had a way. She would look at you and she would be very calm. And she would speak her mind. Yes. And you knew she meant what she said. You knew she meant what she said. I don't even think my grandfather went out that much after that. We would sit at home and watch wrestling. Hmm. I am so happy to see you all in here. I really am. I think what I'm going to do Thursday, I will start showing you all how to make the fitted hood, what we were calling the balaclava. I'd rather say fitted hood. But we'll start doing that. So for homework class, because one of the components is the turtleneck cowl, what you can do before Thursday or Thursday morning prior, or however you choose to do it. If you want to wait, because it is kind of a two-parter, you can go ahead and make the cowl part, and then we'll start on the hood part. That's what we'll do. So is anybody in here following the ASL? And how do you like it? I have fun teaching it because I learn as I'm teaching, and I'm also reiterating some things with my grandkids. So we get to watch each other and, learn from each other as we go. Um, my grandson is like super, super, super smart. And he came home one day and asked me how to say something. And I'm glad I thought about it before I did it. I thought he was going to say what he asked to his sister. It was naughty, but it wasn't bad. What he wanted to say was, I don't like you when you're mean. Well, there's no such thing as falling behind. Just go in the playlist and pick up where you left off. That's why I did them in videos like that. So just every now and then, and if you remember, I try to keep the videos short so that you're not bombarded with, long amounts of time sitting in there. Um, but yeah, I I was getting ready to show him how to sign it. I was going to look up what I needed to look up, and we were going to learn this together. And something said, "Don't do that." And I heard him talking to his sister, and he was saying that he wanted to tell one of the little boys in his class that, and I was like, I'm glad I didn't do that because that could cause a problem. I live in an area that is, and it's not close to me, thank God, but it's a high gang population in this area. Yeah, just go in the playlist and, pick a video, and I try to keep them like somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 to 20 minutes tops, depending on, which letter we're talking about and how difficult the sign might be. And you'll see as we're getting into the second half of the alphabet, we're starting to do finger spelling now, and we're starting to take up a few phrases. Like one of my things that I think all of you should know. And I really, really want everybody to come in and get involved in it, because every time from now on I see you all and you're doing your videos, I want you to show me that you are about to open happy mail. That was the first phrase I taught you. So you open happy, lick the stamp and put it on the letter, mail. Open happy mail. And I would love it when I clicked on a video and I saw someone opening happy mail. Oh my goodness, that would make my life. I want to meet you too. When you come this way, we're going to have to make it happen. We're going to have to make it happen. Okay, y'all, I'm looking at my time and I once again apologize for being late. Looking at my laptop now and my internet just came up on my laptop. So it was struggling to connect for some reason. Um, but it's connected now. What I will do Thursday is I will turn it on earlier and I will give it time to connect to the internet because that was the issue. And then I could not find under YouTube in my phone or YouTube Studio how to start a live. I've done it before. So I couldn't figure out why can't I do it now? But it's all good because I just downloaded StreamYard on my phone. And I know that I already have it on my computer. It was just a matter of logging in and pulling it up. Cool. But don't forget, Thursday we will start working on the fitted hood. And to prep you, just make the turtleneck cowl. And even if you don't have it by then, it's no big thing because we won't be ready for it by then. But before we get to the end of it, that is one of the components of the fitted um, hood. So just know that you're going to need a turtleneck cowl. And when I do my video for later on today, hopefully you will see this basket complete and I will showcase the other three. What I really want to do, thanks to Mama C's suggestion, is I want to auction my baskets off. I want to auction my baskets off. So, and I think when I get into more makes, and as of right now, the goal is to um, completely bust my yarn stash. I want to get all of this gone because I don't want to run the risk of my yarn dry rotting or, I don't want my yarn to go bad. So I want to get rid of every bit of yarn that I have now. At this point, when I purchase yarn, it's only for things that I absolutely need it for. I'm not getting a surplus of anything, but I want to have nothing by the end of May, definitely by the end of June. And then I want to start my stash all over. And then I want to be a blessing to other people as well. I want to have mystery boxes, and I have a lot of crochet notions around here now. And I would love to be able to share those things because a lot of them are not being used, and I'd love for people who are going to use them to have them. I have a lot of creative ideas that I would like to share. So, to incorporate those things in like mystery boxes. Okay. Oh, thank you, Joan. I love you. So I am going to hustle out of here. It is 12:50. It is now 1 o'clock. I'm going to stay true to my time. I will see you all on Thursday and some. Bring your buddies, bring your buddies, bring your buddies. And we're going to get this fitted hood started. And remember, always, always, always love yourselves. Self-love is the greatest love of all. You cannot love others the way they deserve to be loved unless you first love yourself the way you deserve to be loved. You deserve the best. Until we see each other on Thursday, I love you guys. I really love you guys. Peace.